Hi everybody, hope you all had a lovely weekend. So for Monologue Monday, we're taking a look at a piece from Romeo and Juliet. As always, the monologue is in the description below, so take a moment to pause me, read it, and then come on back. So, Romeo and Juliet, really quick because we haven't looked at it in a while, brief rundown of the play. Romeo and Juliet are children of opposing families who have been fighting for a very, very, very long time. They meet at a party, they fall in love, they get married in secret. That was one of their big mistakes, yes? Yes. Eventually, shenanigans happen, Romeo gets sent away, Juliet not wanting to live without her Romeo and almost being forced into marriage with somebody else, pretends to die. Romeo comes back, sees Juliet dead, and kills himself because he doesn't want to live without Juliet. Juliet wakes up from her supposed death, sees Romeo actually dead, and stabs herself. The two families come together, see their dead children, and go, oh crap, we made a lot of mistakes, didn't we? Can we be friends now? A little too little, a little too late. That's the end of the tragedy. The monologue, however, we're looking at is from much happier times. Act 1, Scene 3. Now, in this scene, Juliet's mother, Juliet, and Juliet's nurse are all in the room talking about things, and just as a heads up, nurse does not mean medical in this case, but more like a nurse maid / somebody who is basically Juliet's servant. Now, with all of this, Juliet's mom comes in with some news that there is a young man by the name of Paris who is a member of the local nobility related to the prince, so royalty, technically, who wants to marry Juliet. Now, we know as an audience that Juliet's father said to Paris, hey, look, you're a great looking guy, you're a great guy in general, you would make my daughter very happy and very safe and comfortable, but I need you to go win her heart. I want her to make this decision. Which, by the way, for Shakespeare's day and age, was super duper progressive. Especially in noble circles. A young girl like Juliet would not be making her own decisions on who to marry. So her father's being super progressive. He changes his tune a little bit later in the play, but we're not there yet. So Juliet's mom, however, comes into Juliet's room and says, hey, there's a member of the royalty who wants to marry you, and then goes in to describe Paris. And she gives him an absolutely glowing description. Like, basically, he is an angel amongst men type of thing. And so we have to ask ourselves a question. Why does Lady Capulet do that? Why does she so describe Paris? Now, there are a couple different thoughts that we could go with here. One is that she's trying to prime Juliet to fall in love with this guy. Because, again, if Juliet marries him, she's set for the rest of her life. She will live in comfort for the rest of her life as part of the royal family, technically. You know, in addition to what she'll get from her parents, because she's the only child of the Capulets, and they're kind of a big deal. You know, she'll also be set up with this really wealthy and well-to-do husband, and that would be great for her daughter. So there's that. The other one is based around, and this is my personal belief, is based around something that is often cut from modern productions of Romeo and Juliet. And that is the fact that Juliet is only 13. I'll let that sink in for a moment. Yep, Juliet is 13. This is specifically mentioned in the play. It is also specifically mentioned in the play that there are girls of around the same age as Juliet who are already mothers in the city of Verona, Italy. Yeah, it is also then mentioned that Juliet's mother had Juliet around the time that she was 13. So, if we do some very quick math here, Juliet is 13 in this play. Juliet's mom had Juliet around the same age. So Juliet's mom was about 13 when she had 13-year-old Juliet. We've added that 13 years. Juliet's mom is around 26. Paris is very likely in his mid to late 20s. I personally conclude that Juliet's mom saw Paris and has a major crush on the guy. And so her description is not so much from a perspective of a mother trying to convince her daughter to marry this guy, but more of a, oh my god, I just saw the most gorgeous man I have ever seen. You should marry him because then he would be my son-in-law, and I have reason to see him more often. That's where my interpretation goes, personally. And that's what I'm going to run with here. Now, if you do this show and you have this discussion with your director, you may come up with a different reason. You may go that mothering route. You may find something that's different than those two. And that's entirely on you as the performer. I'm going to take the interpretation that I have and that I've worked with people on and, go with she has a crush on Paris. And so her description is very much from the perspective of, this guy is beautiful, let me tell you about him. So, let's see that. Oh, what say you? Can you love the gentleman? Oh, this night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content, and what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margent of his eyes. Oh, this precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. Oh, the fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride for fair without the fair within to hide. That books in many eyes doth share the glory that in gold clasps locks in the golden story. So shall you have all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less. And that's R&J. We'll be back tomorrow for Tech Tuesday. Bye!